Are you looking for custom homes on water, beautifully designed master plan community? Then today is going to be for you. We're going to be checking out Terra View, a new community. It's going to be on the edge of Eagle, really close to Star, Idaho, as you see here on the map. But we're going to give you a driving tour. We're going to talk about what's happening here. It's really just beginning. There are a lot of homes to come, and this could be the place that you end up calling home. Hey, if you're new to the channel, my name is Craig Flood. I make videos each week about what it's like to live in the state of Idaho. If that interests you, then be sure to subscribe. Additionally, I'm a licensed real estate agent with an amazing team. So if you're thinking about getting moved out here, be sure to reach out. We can help you with your scouting trip. We offer a white glove service. We can help build out those itineraries. You can call, text, or email days, nights, or weekends.
Okay, we are heading into Eagle's latest and greatest premier subdivision, Terra View. If you like Legacy, you will probably love Terra View. So Terra View is going to be just west of Legacy, west side of Eagle, right on the border of Star and Eagle. So it's going to start to feel a little bit more remote towards the west side of Eagle. But the good news is Terra View is going to have some commercial space built into it, along with plenty of houses and subdivisions. The whole community is going to be something like 270 acres. It's going to have over 700 homes, 50 acres of commercial land. So it's going to be sizable. We are right in the infancy of Terra View right now. You can kind of see some of the first homes being built. There's not a single home that has been completed as of today. So they've got a few spec homes. They have a few custom builds going on as well. But you can see they are hard at work getting this community started. As far as cross comparison, Legacy is going to feel very similar. Main reason for that is the developer of Legacy, Marty Goldsmith, is the same developer of Terra View. Now, the main differences between Legacy and Terra View is going to be like Legacy, but just better. That's how they describe it. There's going to be more water. They're going to have 21 lakes, they call them, or ponds, which you can kind of see off to the left over here. And I've mentioned Legacy a couple of times. Legacy is one of the most famous premier subdivisions in Eagle, Idaho right now. It has been fully built, fully developed. There's no more, lots for sale in Legacy. They are pretty much completely established. And it's characterized by beautiful landscaping. They've got a golf course in there. They have a lot of waterfront homes with these ponds and lakes that they built into the community, similar to Terra View, right? The difference in Terra View, again, is that the ponds are going to be a little bit larger. There's going to be more homes with that kind of waterfront property. And they're also trying to do a good job of making a lot of big lots, right? I think the average lot size in Terra View is something like 1/3 of an acre. So we are looking at more sizable lots. They're not going to be too squished together. And then another huge difference is that you're not going to have any of these stock builders like Toll Brothers. You won't have any Hubble Homes or CBH. No one that is just building the same floor plans, the same type of homes over and over again. Every home in Terra View is going to be by a custom home builder. So there's going to be a lot of names that you've probably never heard of before. There's Hammett Homes, Frost Homes. There is Hines is another builder in here. Solitude is one name that you may have heard of before. The point of the story is things that you couldn't do with a stock builder or a semi-custom builder, you can do with this kind of a luxury upper tier custom homes. Okay, right now we are standing in the backyard of one of the waterfront homes here. So the home would be right behind us, and you can see outlined would be 3 or 4. They call them beachfront. You have some black rock, you have some gravel, sand. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. It's not going to be Huntington Beach or something like that, but it certainly is nice to be close to the water. And then up top is going to be where the home would be, and then usually we'll have a small grass yard as well. Here in one of the backyards, magic is in the details, right? So you have big boulders, you have kind of a step down approach, and so houses are up top. You have kind of a private, I don't know, maybe build a fire or something like that here, and then it steps up, it steps down even closer to the water. And so you do have some great landscaping, some things changing. It feels really dynamic and private, even though there'll be 700 homes in here. It really does feel like your own little oasis, I would say. And I think you can kind of see the differences with custom homes in this street right here. I mean, on the left, you can see beautiful, tall, steep pitched roofs with a lot of natural stone, deep accents, and then Farther down or behind us, we have some really clean white stucco, some arches. I mean, there's a lot of custom design features that you're just not going to see in your, run-of-the-mill subdivision. Now, if you're looking straight ahead from here, you're going to see in the distance Highway 16. So the intersections of Terra View is Highway 16 and Beacon Light, and Highway 16 is going to be extended, it's going to grow. So accessibility wise, it's only going to get better from here, but right now that would be maybe the number one con in my opinion, is you are starting to get more remote on this west side of Eagle, and there's not a lot out here for one, and two, you're going to be somewhat of a 30-minute drive to get to downtown Boise, maybe even longer with traffic, and then getting to Meridian is still going to be about 20 minutes, and so you're not really too close to everyday conveniences. That said, once they finish Highway 16, once the commercial projects get underway, it's going to change rapidly in my opinion, but right now as it stands, you are a little bit farther out there for even things like groceries.
I just wanted to pause for a moment. If you're enjoying this and you're thinking about making the move to Idaho, reach out to us. We can help you plan that. We can help you build out an itinerary, go through a scouting trip so that you can figure out if this is where you want to live or not. Call, text, or email days, nights, or weekends. It's totally free.
And as we're talking about commercial and spacing, you can kind of see here on the intersection between Beacon Light and Highway 16, they are being thoughtful in their design in the sense of, yes, Highway 16 is going to have some road noise. Beacon Light is a major intersection, so they're going to put commercial space here butting up to this intersection, also along the sides. Again, we don't have leases in place. There haven't been agreements, at least that are public, as far as what those places are going to be. I think we can all be pretty confident we won't be looking at storage facilities or something like that. It'll most likely be something related to grocery shopping, things like that, because that is just the feeling, that's the general construction in this area. But we're still waiting to see what the commercial entities are actually going to be. So again, talking about new construction, this is a great example of something you will not find. And even places like Dry Creek Ranch with Boise Hunter Homes, you have a clay or a tile roof, which is something very common, again, in places like Arizona, California, New Mexico. We do not have tile roofs in Idaho. I mean, I sold one this year, and it was the first time I've sold one in the last 4 years. It's just not common at all. And it's just not a stylistic thing that we see often here. But in Terra View, really sky's the limit. You can kind of do whatever you want to, as long as it's within the realm of reason as far as keeping this upper tier luxury type of feel. Now, when we're talking about amenities, we will have a community pool, a clubhouse, there'll be large green space, picnic areas. I think there's going to be a splash pad where the playgrounds are. So it's going to be large, it's going to be robust. It's not going to have all the things. It's not going to be an equestrian facility like Dry Creek Ranch or River Park Estates. It's going to be somewhat standard for a community like this as far as amenities go. But again, really what you're paying for, what the community is presenting to you, is this upper tier feeling with the design, with the landscaping, with the types of homes being the biggest, the nicest. That's more so, the draw to Terra View over a place like Dry Creek Ranch or even River Park Estates. Hey, I know I've been talking about a few different communities. We'll link those down below so you can go and check those out as well. Lots of great options in the valley. So if you want to check those out, there'll be a link down below. Now let's talk a little bit more about homes as far as price range. What are we looking at? Now, so far, because not everything has been released yet, the lowest on the market we have is like 1.7 to 2.6 is the range we're looking at. Now, I think it would be possible to get maybe all the way down to 1.3. I think would probably be the absolute bottom of the barrel as far as pricing goes, maybe 1.2. And the main reason for that is because the developer is spending so much money on the development, on the landscaping, etc., that even the smaller, 8,000 square foot lots are going for like 400,000 right off the gate. Now, the larger lots that are more like a third acre, they're sitting somewhere in the high fives to maybe 600,000. And so if you're looking at homes, that's kind of what your price range will look in. Certainly you could extend that top number depending on the builder and the customizations, etc. But you're going to be somewhere most likely in the 1.5 to maybe $3 million range. Now, if you're thinking about Terra View, a couple things that are important to keep in mind. One is that the process is not going to be quite as streamlined, as simple as if you were going to buy in a subdivision like Dry Creek Ranch, like River Park Estates, or some of these other master plan communities with one builder. And the reason for that being is to buy in these communities, most often it makes the most sense to get a one-time closed construction loan. You're going to work closely with a builder to design all the elements in your home. It's not going to be quite as cut and dry as some other options. However, it does give you the opportunity to make the home pretty much exactly what you want it to be, which is a pretty unique and special opportunity, but it does come with a little bit more work on your end and on our end too. Now, I think the ideal person for a community like this is someone who, one, wants a custom home, two, cares a lot about what the community looks like, what it feels like. They're not too concerned about being really close to X, Y, or Z everyday amenity. It's more about what does home need to be and what does the community need to be. Now, you can also buy a custom home out on some land. I mean, we're on the edge of Eagle and Star. You can find some land in Star, you can find some land in Middleton, probably a couple of acres, and still being in the same price point. So that's certainly another option if you're gonna go the custom route. And again, the reason Terra View is different from that is, again, it all comes down to the community, the feeling, the neighborhood. It's really more about that established upper end neighborhood feel. Okay, now this is kind of to show you the depth, the width, how large this community is going to be. We're looking at phases 10 and 11 right now. So you won't see these for quite a few years still. There's going to be a total of 16 phases. 14 of those, I believe, are all going to be residential construction. 15 and 16, I think, are commercial specifically. And so we're still in the residential area here. You can see it's still pretty much just farmland. Whatever they were growing the last couple of years is still out. They haven't graded, they haven't developed yet. So this is still going to be a few years away. We are coming through another entrance to the community. You can see a little bit of an idea. These look like planters to us here on each side, and then going to be more landscaping in the middle. Again, if you go check out that video about Legacy, you'll see something really similar in Legacy with how they line the streets with landscaping. It is really unique to the developer and what he does as far as other communities in the valley. And then if we're talking about the community itself, or over here on the right, you can kind of see a little parking lot. Again, when we're talking about amenities, it's mainly going to be green space, playground with a splash pad. There'll be different options, and this is going to be one of those places where you could park and then go enjoy the community outside of just your backyard. Now, we talked a little bit about pricing. So lots right now are looking somewhere in the high fives, maybe the smaller lots coming in the mid-low fours. And then home prices currently are between 1.7 and 2.6. As far as square footage goes, you kind of have whatever you want. Again, we have custom homes, so there's not a specific floor plan you have to adhere to. Now, they are not going to allow, a 800 square foot tiny home. It's not going to fit the aesthetic of the community. So there'll be some parameters that you have to have a home a specific size, but in general, you're going to be able to find most square footage ranges, especially 2,000 and up. It's going to be pretty possible. Now, if you're trying to get a 10,000 square foot, 12,000 square foot, that will probably be too large for this community because they're not going to allow the entire lot to be taken up by just the home. So even if you get, a 3rd-acre lot, which is 14-ish thousand square feet, you couldn't build and take up probably half or more of that with just your home. They're going to have restrictions based off the amount of green space allowed and things like that. When we're talking about custom homes, again, this is a much more clean look. So we have a little bit of natural stone at the bottom, a lot of stucco, clean lines, some natural wood accents, a few different roof angles, and some nice accents at the top of the peak. It is beautiful, certainly one of the more simple designs in this subdivision. This one is one of my favorites. You got some tall pitched roofs, a lot of natural stone, the kind of deep, bold black accents. I think it's really going to stand out, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to do something just like this in many other lots around the community. And this stuff, even in the winter, what you're seeing right now is really what would kind of set it apart. This feels a lot like Legacy, but a little bit more grand. You've got the arches, the structures over the walking paths. You've got the big, iron basins in the middle of the landscaping, the trees. I mean, it really feels special and grand and not something you're going to find really anywhere else in Eagle.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to watch that video next, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.